Namaskar, greetings, and gratitude. I welcome you all to the Inspirational Star Talks episode number 48. And today, with me on the hot seat is Mrs. Anez Katre. I welcome you, ma'am, to the Star Talks. How are you doing, ma'am?
Thank, thank you so much, Preeti. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine, ma'am. Honored. Ma'am has more than 25 years of experience in the field of training and professional development in education. She has worked closely with students and teachers in premier residential schools and conducted professional programs in India and Nepal. She headed training for over 15 years at the Doon School, Dehradun, before she joined Zamit in 2019. I welcome you, ma'am, once again.
Thank you.
Ma'am, please tell us about your journey, how you became involved in training and professional development in education.
Right. If I'm to be honest, this was not my first choice. So when I started my career, I actually was working in the garment industry. This was in the early 80s. And I think it was just destiny that, my husband decided to give up the job that he was doing and move to schools, and that to the Assam Valley School, which was, in the back of Beyonds. And I had very little choice but to kind of join him and throw myself into making myself useful at the school. And that's how my journey began with schools per se. Subsequently, we moved to the Doon School. That was in early 2000. And that is where I actually got into professional development. And the credit really goes to our then headmaster, Mr. John Mason. He's quite an iconic figure in education. Unfortunately, he's no more. But I think he spotted something in me. And one day I just got a call from his office and he said, Anez, I want you to take over the teacher center at the school. And I'm like, gosh, I've never thought about this. So he says, don't worry, I have full confidence and I will support you. And that's how my journey began. And after that, there's been no turning back. I mean, I've loved every little bit of what I've done at the Dude School and subsequently uh, individually and with Zamit.
That is so wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, how do you measure the success of your training programs? And what metrics do you use to evaluate their impact?
This is something that is not some easy because I know in my experience, I've realized that one-off workshops don't necessarily have the impact that we want them to have because professional development is all about changing a mindset. As educators, as teachers, as adults, it's very easy for us to slip into old habits. So I think the feedback really comes from regarding the success of the program comes from watching and talking and listening to the participants. When they begin to engage, when they begin to question, when they even begin to challenge what you're saying, you know that somewhere down the line they're paying attention and there is an interest which is going to then hopefully transfer into their classroom practice. And in regards with measure, I have to say this is something that I've discovered recently at Zamit, where we have a measuring tool which can actually measure the success of our professional development programs and its impact in the classroom. I think this was much needed because in the past, it was basically feedback forms. I think almost everybody got a feedback form, and most participants would compliment you on the workshop and be happy with it. But the impact was not actually being transferred into the classroom practice. So I'm happy to say that today there is a framework that actually measures the professional development that teachers are undertaking. So that I feel is a very dependable tool.
Great. I'm also not aware of this thing. Great.
So please look that up. So it's mapped to the CIFR, Common International Framework of Reference, and you can go on to the Zamit website to get more details.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ma'am, this is very interesting. I came across in your profile that, I really want to know what inspired you to focus on life saving sports and how did you become an international official in this field?
Again, I think it was just by chance. I'm an Air Force officer's daughter, and hence sports and outdoors come naturally to me. It's something that when I've done all along. And when I joined the Dune School, there was an opportunity to introduce life-saving sports in school, and a feeler was sent out as to which staff members might be interested. As it so happens, I am a national level swimmer in my youth many moons ago. And that kind of I got curious. I said, let me get to know a little bit more about the sport. And that's when I began to train as a lifeguard myself. And then, of course, I trained as an instructor. I had the opportunity to work under Australian instructors as well. Taught, I don't know how many kids to swim, both within Dune School and outside, conducted RLSS camps for them, and trained students to participate in nationals. And then, of course, slowly you begin to make inroads into the international sporting scene. And that's how I got kind of selected to represent India, not just within, for the nationals, but also for the World Life Saving Championships and the Commonwealth Life Saving Championships. Uh, just to let you know that in 2014, I was awarded the Lifesaver of the Year, presented by the President of Royal Life Saving Society Australia. And in 2015, I got the Service Cross presented by the Royal Life Saving Society Commonwealth. And all this motivates you to do much more, give back
Absolutely.
much more.
Absolutely. Heartiest congratulations to you, ma'am, on this achievement.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
So, now, ma'am, what are your future plans and initiatives for expanding your training programs and reaching out to more students and educators?
So this is an ongoing journey. So it's not something that one can, plan in such a manner where you have a direct answer. Basically, you have to feel the pulse of what is required. What is it that currently the schools, the teachers need, and with that you have to kind of adapt. So I wouldn't say I have any long term plans, but I think when we talk about current professional development, one is talking largely about the way the teachers. It's not about the what you teach, but it's about the how you teach. And I think how teachers are building a rapport with the students. Teachers today wear different hats. You're not just a giver of knowledge. You could be a mentor, you could be a counselor, you could be a guide, you need to be a friend, you need to be a nurse, you need to be all kinds of things. And I think that is what is becoming more important. So it's not, the what is being taught by the teachers very well, is my belief. It is the focus on the how. And I think that's my plan for the near future, at least. Whatever support one can give them in helping them the rapport with the students and in helping them ensure that their classroom environments are non threatening. I do believe that social emotional learning plays a very big role in students' learning, and that is something that all teachers need to be familiar with. Empathy, communication, how they communicate with their students, what language they use when they're speaking with students. So, those are the areas that I think I would like to focus on in the near future.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Social emotional learning is the talk of the day. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, although you've told that your love for sports and everything, but Still, I'm curious to know about your hobbies and interests.
Yes, so like I mentioned, I'm very fond of the outdoors. I'm very fond of trekking in the mountains. So when
Oh,
an opportunity arises, I've had the opportunity to go on some wonderful midterm treks with the boys in Dune School, and that love continues. My recent passion is golf. So I've begun to play golf about a year ago. Uh, Still hacking around, still struggling, but loving every minute on the golf course. And apart from that, I really enjoy reading. I can't go to bed without having read a couple of pages, irrespective of what time of the night it is. I'm very fond of animals. I have two dogs as pets, and that is again something of interest. I wouldn't call it a hobby, but animals is something I love. And other than that, what else? I mean, swimming, of course. I think that's about it. And continuously engaging in something new. So, very, very recently, I've begun to contemplate bridge. So I think, learning new things, whether it is cognitive or whether it's a sport, uh, cooking, new recipes, I think those are my areas of interest.
beautiful, ma'am. Beautiful. Kudos to you. You are doing so much, and along with that, you are pursuing your interest and hobbies. Very impressive, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming to the Star Talks
Thank,
today. Thank you. Thank you
thank you
so
so much, Preeti. Thank you for having me here today. Wish you all the best, and may Star Talks continue to gain greater heights.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Honored. Thank you. Thank you, my dear audience, for being with us in this lovely chat with ma'am today. And on Wednesday, I will come back again with another personality who has inspired my life. Thank you. Have a good day.